I'm going to say something crazy, but I think video games accidentally taught me discipline. Which sounds ridiculous, I know, because half the time I play video games, I do it specifically to avoid doing anything productive, right? But I realized this when I started comparing it to other forms of consumption or entertainment. Like, let's say, watching a show. You just sit down on the couch, you plop down, press one button, and Netflix immediately starts some random show, and it does everything for you. Even the next episode starts automatically. You don't even have to consciously decide that you're still watching the show because Netflix is doing everything for you, right? There's no hard decision or any choice that you need to make. But starting a long story game like Red Dead Redemption or The Witcher, or there's so many others, Baldur's Gate. After a long day of work or school or just having a long day in general, starting that game can feel weirdly difficult. You have to remember the controls, the abilities, the story, the plot. You have to figure out what you were doing last time, what you're gonna do now, and possibly even fight some crazy, insane, highly difficult boss that killed you like 20 times the last time you tried. And this made me realize that sometimes I avoid playing the game that I genuinely love and then spend the next 3 hours or like the rest of the night watching TikToks or Netflix or something that I don't even particularly like. Because watching a show asks nothing from me. Playing a game does. A game doesn't continue without your input. A game cannot continue without your attention. There is no autoplay button that defeats the boss for you or solves the puzzle you've been struggling with or chooses the dialogue option that influences the story. You have to participate actively. And over time, I realized I had been confusing two completely different things. Those are wanting to do something and feeling ready to start it. Because I thought enjoyment and enjoying a game was supposed to pull me in immediately. If I didn't feel motivated to play the game, I assumed I must not really enjoy it or want to play. But some of my best nights playing games, and some of the best games I've ever played, began with me reluctantly starting them up or pressing continue. So I started doing it more often. Just playing one more mission, exploring one more area or crafting that item I've been trying to craft, trying the boss one more time. And usually, once I began, the resistance to play disappeared. I started noticing this same pattern everywhere else in my life, really. I started noticing in the gym for exercising, in studying, working on something personal. I kept waiting for motivation to begin, when motivation usually came after I had already begun doing the thing I needed motivation for. This doesn't mean that I now force myself to play every game or finish every terrible game that I've bought in a Steam sale, because I don't know if you've seen my Steam library, but it's huge, and I don't consider it a prison sentence that I need to serve. But it did teach me that effort and enjoyment aren't opposites. Sometimes a little effort is the price of reaching that enjoyment. Games didn't make me disciplined because they were difficult. They made me disciplined because they taught me to not let every temporary feeling make my decisions for me.